There are 7 signs that happen when someone is slowly distancing themselves from you, and the difficult part is that you feel it happening but can't quite explain what's changed. Something feels different, off, but you can't put your finger on it, and that confusion keeps you stuck, wondering if you're imagining things, if you're overreacting, if it's all in your head. But these 7 patterns reveal what's actually going on. They show you when distance is real and when someone is genuinely pulling away. And once you know what they are, that confusion disappears. You'll see the situation clearly. You'll understand what's happening. And if you stay till the end, you'll finally be able to make decisions based on reality instead of hope. Before we start, like the video and subscribe to LifeBased for more insights about the patterns shaping your life and relationships. Let's get into it. Number 1. Their responses become shorter and take longer. This is often one of the first signs. When someone is pulling away, the way they communicate might start to change. Messages that used to be thoughtful and engaged might become brief. One-word answers, short replies, and the time between responses might get longer. Hours turn into days, days turn into longer stretches of silence. This doesn't automatically mean someone is distancing themselves. People get busy, life happens. But when this becomes a pattern, when it's consistent over time, it could be a sign, especially if this person used to respond quickly and engage meaningfully. Distance often shows up first in communication because when someone is invested, they make time to engage. But when someone is pulling away, communication becomes more of a chore. The energy changes, the effort decreases. Number 2, they stop initiating contact. When someone is distancing themselves, you might notice that you're always the one reaching out. You're the one starting conversations, making plans, checking in, and they respond, maybe, but they're not initiating anymore. They're not thinking about you and reaching out just because. This could be a significant indicator because effort reveals priority. When someone values a connection, they contribute to keeping it going. But when someone is pulling away, they might stop putting in that effort. They become passive, responsive at best, but never the one to start anything. But whether it's intentional or not, the result is the same. You're left doing all the work. Number 3, they're suddenly always busy when you try to make plans. This one can be tricky because people genuinely do get busy, but when someone is distancing themselves, there's often a pattern here. Every time you suggest getting together, they're unavailable. They have other plans. Work is crazy, life is hectic, and they might say, let's do it soon, but that time never actually comes. What might be happening is that they're not prioritizing spending time with you anymore. If someone truly wants to see you, they find time. But if someone is pulling away, they might use busyness as a gentle way to create distance. They're not saying no outright, they're just never saying yes. And you might notice that they're not too busy for other people. They're still active, still making plans, still showing up for others, just not for you. Number 5, they stop asking about your life. When someone is distancing themselves, they might stop showing interest in what's happening with you. They don't ask how things went. They don't follow up on things you mentioned before. They don't check in on situations they know you're dealing with. The interest about your life just isn't there anymore. This could be one of the most telling signs because asking about someone's life shows investment. But when someone is creating distance, that interest fades. They stop keeping track. They stop checking in. You might notice when you share something important and they barely acknowledge it, or when something significant happens in your life and they don't ask a single follow-up question. Number 6, they seem distracted or disengaged when you're together. If you do manage to spend time with them, you might notice they're not really present. They're checking their phone more, their mind seems elsewhere. The conversation doesn't flow the way it used to. There's a disconnect. What this might indicate is that even when they're physically present, they're mentally and emotionally checked out. They're going through the motions, but the genuine engagement isn't there anymore, and you can feel it. This could show up as shorter hangouts, like they're looking for an excuse to leave early, or it might show up as them seeming relieved when plans get canceled. Presence isn't just about showing up physically, it's about being engaged, being interested, being invested. Number 7, the warmth in the connection feels different. This one is harder to describe, but often the most noticeable. There's just a shift in energy. The warmth that used to be there might feel cooler now. The ease might feel more strained. The connection that used to feel natural might now feel forced or uncomfortable. This might show up in how they interact with you. Less eye contact, less physical affection if that was part of your dynamic, fewer inside jokes or personal references. The little things that made your connection unique might start disappearing. This feeling is often your intuition picking up on all the small changes that are happening. Your gut might be telling you something is off before your mind fully processes what's going on, and this feeling shouldn't be ignored. These 7 signs aren't definitive proof. They're possibilities, patterns that could indicate someone is creating distance. Seeing one of these things doesn't mean someone is definitely pulling away, but when you see several of these patterns consistently over time, it might be showing you something real, something worth paying attention to. And if you're seeing these signs, it doesn't necessarily mean you did something wrong. Sometimes people pull away because of what's going on in their own life, their own struggles, their own changes. Sometimes people grow apart naturally. Sometimes someone's capacity for connection shifts, and it has nothing to do with you. And sometimes, yes, someone might be intentionally creating distance because the connection no longer serves them the way it used to. And what matters is that you recognize what's happening, that you trust what you're seeing, and that you make decisions based on the reality of the situation, not the potential of what it could be, because you deserve connections where effort is mutual, where presence is genuine, where you're not the only one fighting to keep things alive. And when someone is pulling away, sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is let them. Not with bitterness, not with resentment, but with the understanding that not every connection is meant to last forever, and that's okay. If you found this helpful, like the video and subscribe to LifeBased for more insights about the patterns shaping your life and relationships. Thanks for watching.